What's up, Zer0 Division Members? Enrico here, and today we're going to be discussing and reviewing Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works Episode 20, titled Unlimited Blade Works. Now, in this episode, Shiro, once again, stubbornly pushed through everything that Archer was saying to him, showing him, etc., and he decided no matter what, even if his life will be filled with hypocrisy, he will still try and strive to become a hero of justice. And I've talked a lot of shit on Shiro. Not really talk shit on him, but you guys know he's probably my least favorite character in this series. And in this episode, he kind of warmed up to me. I've kind of warmed up to his character. I'm enjoying him a little bit more. I like that he's very stubborn. He's very determined no matter what. Evidence, straight up facts of what happened to, the Shiro that is Archer is in front of him, and he still wants to strive to become a hero of justice. If that's not determination, I don't know what the fuck is. I mean, he's straight up determined, even though the facts are right in front of him, to fulfill his goals. Fulfill the goals that Kiritsugu was not able to fulfill, somebody who lost everything, apparently, as he said in this episode, and he wants to strive to become a hero of justice. I really enjoyed seeing him learning everything about that version of Shiro, the one that's Archer, what happened to him. Archer had, like, the swords in his back and shit like that. But overall, it was just very enjoyable to see that. And we find out that he has, I guess, Excalibur's sheath inside of him, and apparently Archer had that put in him as well by Kiritsugu. It allowed Shiro to heal his wounds, which is pretty interesting as well, which allowed him to continue to fight on, finally get that resolved. His spirit might have been broken, but now it is not, and his body is not broken. And what ultimately brought him back to reality was seeing that scene when Kiritsugu rescued a young Shiro, and Shiro said to Archer, this is what you forgot. You forgot this moment, basically. And I thought that was really heart-touching to see this, something Archer completely forgot about, the thing that everything he might be right about, but he forgot one thing. Shiro was able to remember it, and it allowed him to continue to fight forward. Bro Lancer is dead. He wasn't killed last episode, and I much more prefer the way he went out this episode, with him getting his payback on Kirei, killing him, having that conversation with Rin, him saying, I would have liked to have you as a master. Her saying, I like guys like you. And him saying, come back to me when you have a few years on you. I thought that was kind of hilarious. What he did to Shinji was absolutely hilarious. Kind of sad Shinji survived, but sometimes the people that deserve to die the most survive. But, just poking him with his lance and he freaks out and runs. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. As always, the animation was on point, but when is it never on point when it comes to Ufotable? And it seems like we're going to get the true battle between Archer and Shiro next episode. And once again, Saber's probably going to stay out of it and just watch the fight like she did in this episode. Even though she should have been helping Rin, she needed to stay and, uphold her pledge to Shiro, even though she was told not to, involve herself in this battle. And the one line that kind of bothered me a little bit, I completely understand where they're coming from with this line, but it was kind of redundant, was, you're correct, but it doesn't mean that you're right. And what that means is you might be correct in everything you're saying, but it doesn't mean that you're morally right. It doesn't mean what you've done, what has happened, these might be facts. It doesn't make it right, ethically and morally. That's how I took it. I could be completely wrong, and you guys can clarify this in the comments below if you want, but that's how I took it. Like I said, I understand the phrase, but it was a very redundant phrase. Just like in 2006 when he said, people who are killed die, or something like that. I mean, it's very redundant. You understand what it's supposed to be, conveying to the viewer, but it's just a very redundant phrase. But I understood it. And the phrase I liked the most in this episode was when, Shiro said, I don't mind losing, but I won't be beaten by myself. Meaning he's not going to allow himself, aka Archer, or even himself as himself, in the first person, to bring himself down and break his ideals and break his resolve. And now Shiro is motivated to beat Archer and not allow Archer to break him and defeat him and kill him and, stop him from striving to be a hero of justice. So overall, it was a decent episode. I've really enjoyed it. I just want to see what's going to happen with Archer and Shiro now. If Shiro's going to end up surviving, and if Shiro's going to walk the same path as Archer. I feel like him meeting Archer and finding out the truth about Archer should automatically change this Shiro's destiny, not to walk down the same path. you know, Archer kept saying, you're on the threshold now. But is that truly what's happening right now? I feel like this Shiro, Unlimited Blade Works route Shiro, should automatically have his destiny changed because he knows the truth about a former version of himself. And even if it doesn't automatically have his destiny changed, he should be able to sort of change it because he knows what happens in the future, or he knows what could happen in the future. So it's a very interesting thing. And whenever time travel or anything like that, not that this is truly time travel, but in a sense it is, whenever that's involved in the story, it makes things complicated. And, so far it really hasn't been that complicated, but it leaves things open-ended, like as far as what can happen to this version of Shiro. But I'd have to give the episode a 9 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed everything that, basically culminated into this episode. Everything that happened in this episode has been building since the beginning of the series. Wondering what Archer's identity is and finding it out. And now Shiro having to, break through the negativity that Archer is bringing to him and trying to kill him and whatnot. So everything was it was a boiling point, and it basically spilled over, and we get to see Shiro's, final resolve and final decision as far as what he's going to do. So I really enjoyed that. But what are your thoughts on the episode, guys? Leave them in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I would greatly appreciate it. But that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next review.